Today, we're exploring one of the Peak District's most mysterious relics of the past, Magpie Mine. Hidden in the rolling hills near Sheldon, these ruins tell a story of danger, determination, and centuries-old mining legends. As we wander through the abandoned engine houses, old shafts, and haunting stone structures, we'll uncover the history, the myths, and the eerie atmosphere that still lingers here. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and join us on this adventure into one of Britain's most iconic industrial time capsules. This is Magpie Mine.
So we're at the start of the Magpie Mine trail and the route to get to the Magpie Mine. The parking is literally just a lay-by. So Magpie Mine's there, and here's the lay-by. Just park there.
Magpie Mine first appears in records from 1740, yet the grounds beneath it had already been worked on for decades. These fields hold almost 300 years of human struggle, ambition and hope. Today, Magpie Mine stands frozen in a perfect moment, its engine houses, chimneys and winding gear among the best preserved remnants of lead mining anywhere in Britain. At its peak, Magpie Mine produced over 800 tonnes of lead in a single year. For a brief moment, it wasn't just a mine, it was a powerhouse of the Peak District. But beneath the earth, tension simmered. In 1833, a bitter rivalry with neighbouring miners turned deadly. 3 men suffocated underground and 24 Magpie miners stood accused of murder. None were convicted, but the shadows of that tragedy still clings to these ruins.
Where we are standing now is the square chimney. This was built in 1840, and attached to this was an engine house, which is obviously gone. So when this was sold in 1846, though the chimney remained, the other parts of the building were demolished. So after all that hard work John Taylor did, 6 years later, most of it was demolished. But don't worry, John, we still appreciate your chimney.
Locals say the spirits of 3 Maypit miners, the men who died in the feud of 1833, still wander beneath these fields. Some claim to hear coughing in the wind, others say they've heard a voice calling for help from inside the old shaft. Walk past the chimney on a still evening and you might hear footsteps crunching behind you, even when you're alone. There's a story about a woman who waits on the hillside, a miner's wife, dressed in black, forever watching the horizon. She was waiting for her husband to return from the depths below, but he never came home. Farmers have reported an eerie glow beneath the ground, drifting as if someone is exploring the old tunnels with a lantern, but the mine has been sealed off for decades. There's no one down there, or at least no one living. A few visitors say they've heard a metallic clanging, like hammers on stone, echoing from inside the ruined workshops. When they go inside, there's nothing. No wind, no animals, just silence. Whether you believe the stories or not, one thing is certain: Magpie Mine doesn't feel empty. It feels watched, it feels remembered, as if the miners who spent their lives here never truly left. Maybe it's the wind through the stones, maybe it's the memory, or maybe, if you listen closely, you'll hear the ghosts of Magpie Mine telling their story.
So this lovely little circular place once was a gunpowder store. So if you imagine standing here 200 years ago, you'd be stood in a whole heap of gunpowder. It'd be the perfect fortress for Guy Fawkes, really.
We've been exploring here for a little while now, but there's one of the holes. I think this is a well. These are dotted all round this site.
They're so deep.
They're so deep. But yeah, we'll see if we can find some more for you. We found another one. You wouldn't want to get lost down there. But it seems that all these are just interlinked and crawling back to the main mine, which is over there.
Another extremely deep. I mean, that is, you can't see it on the camera. That is so deep.
See if you can get down closer. Do you know what that reminds me of? Let us know in the comments, did you ever watch the film The Ring, where the little girl climbs up the well? That is horrific.
Yeah, it's frightening.
I think we need to get out of here soon.
Eerie.
Very eerie.
Magpie Mine exploration comes to an end. This place is rich with history, and hopefully we've told you enough facts, but what we'd like to know is, if anyone's local to the Peak District area and knows a bit more about this place, even old wives' tales and old tales, please do leave them in the comments. Anyway, we spent a couple of hours here, and we could spend a whole lot longer when you're researching. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Anyway, I'm off to go and pick and mine some lead and steal some of those wildflowers. Catch you at the next one.